And finally, new rule, America, before you get in bed with Mitt Romney, remember, he may seem like a nice fella. From what we know about his core beliefs, nothing. His tax plan, nothing. His faith, off limits. And his donors, anonymous. But a compulsive liar whose whole life is secret can get you a lot worse disease than Romnesia. Now, when I talk about getting into bed with Mitt Romney, obviously I don't mean that literally. Please, Mitt Romney doesn't even know what a blowjob is. He thinks it's something the Pep Boys do to clean out your carburetor. No. What I'm trying to do is make an analogy to that old public service announcement about how when you go to bed with one person, you're not just sleeping with them, you're... Well, it's like that with Mitt. When you elect Mitt, you're not just electing him, you're electing every right-wing nut he's pandered to in the last 10 years. If the Mittmobile does roll into Washington, it'll be towing behind it the whole anti-intellectual, anti-science freak show. The abstinence obsessives, the flat earthers, homeschoolers, the holy warriors, the anti-women social Neanderthals, the closeted homosexuals, and every end-timer who sees the Virgin Mary in the grass over the septic tank. Now, I understand having issues with Obama, but stop to think of all the crap we haven't had to deal with in the last 4 years. Anybody remember Terry Schiavo? Obama isn't perfect, but he never turned the entire federal government into a Jesus freak episode of House. And he doesn't have an attorney general like John Ashcroft, who once covered up a statue at the Justice Department because it was showing too much tit. Like it was Janet Jackson. I'm just saying, last 4 years, no crises about boobies. No controversies about whether stem cells are actually tiny people. No Defense of Marriage Act. No Office of Faith-Based Initiatives. No peddling creationism at the national parks. Did you know that before Obama got in, the Smithsonian couldn't mention global warming as a possible reason the glaciers were shrinking? Because heat, melting ice, was just a theory. Yes, that was our daily diet of turd under the last sensible, business-minded Republican moderate. And before you say, well, that was then, this is now, sitting in Congress right now, we've got a fresh can of nuts just waiting to get cracked open. A few weeks ago, we heard from a Republican congressman named Paul Brown. Here he is at a dead deer convention, telling his supporters that evolution, embryology, and the Big Bang Theory are all, quote, lies straight from the pit of hell. And he's on the science committee, along with Todd Akin. Fuck, even the deer are rolling their eyes. Mitt Romney might want a government full of sober gentlemen who discuss policy in quiet rooms, but he's also going to get a bunch of snake handlers who spout nonsense in antler-filled rooms. People like Congressman Ralph Hall, who is chairman of the Science Committee and says we don't need to address global warming because, quote, I don't think we can control what God controls. By that logic, why ever put out a fire? Or open an umbrella, or wipe your ass. This is what you get with today's Republican Party. And a new Republican administration would be an open for business sign to all the bizarre Bible-thumping bullshit that the Obama administration has given us a break from. And to those who say, oh, don't worry, Mitt Romney will stand up to the extreme elements of his party, there's just one problem with that. It has the name Mitt Romney and the word stand up in the same sentence.